hours, we are basically just right under 2,000 agents. So as you can imagine, internally, that's a lot to deal with to ensure that we are providing a consistent experience. And so we have had to put a little pause on a couple of things to ensure that the people who are here, we're creating a nice transition for them. And obviously people are running their businesses, right? So we don't want them to come here and not be able to support them. So we made some tough decisions internally to kind of slow things down just for the moment while we focus on, the people who are already in the queue. And of course, we want to continue growth, but it's most important that we continue to support the agents that trusted us first and that are here operating their business. So that was really important to Robert. So we're going to talk through real quick, a quick recap for some of the things that were in launch. We know there's some questions again around what home value looks like, when that's planning on rolling out, what does the state expansion look like, and then you may have heard some things about the wait list. Essentially, the wait list is just for us to catch up over these last couple hundred agents to get them into our ecosystem before we start onboarding new agents who signed after that 8-9. There was a couple people in there who were signing at 8-10 who were having some difficulties getting stuff to us, but essentially that group we're going to go ahead and process, and then we'll go ahead and start letting new people in. So Robert, if you'd like to turn it over to you, since he's standing next to me here.
What's up, everybody? Good morning.
Everyone is on mute.
Yeah, so as we looked at this, we looked at kind of what the fastest growing brokerages in the past had done. And what's interesting is we kind of said, hey, if we can get to 250 or 300 agents a month, that'll be amazing. Because there are brokerages with 10,000 agents and a lot of people out there recruiting and a lot of traction that we're only adding 300 agents a month. And so the fact that we blew by that, we hit over 300 agents in June, and then in July. And then with August and launch, I think we ended up with just over 1,800 founders, which is amazing. So, quick round of applause for our 1,800 founders. That's great. And so, we just we're real estate first. It's really important to me that we serve all the agents who believed in us, everyone who did sign during that founder period. And so as weird as it feels to launch a company and then go directly to a wait list, it's what we had to do. And a lot of that is just because of the meteoric growth. And I'm very committed to making sure that we meet the expectations. We were prepared for doubling. We just didn't think we would double in 3 weeks. And that's where we ended up. So that's exciting. And so what's going to happen now is when we come off of the wait list is really going to depend on how many people join the wait list. If we end up with 2,000 people on the wait list, then we've got to process all of those people then who are already on the wait list before we can get rid of the wait list. And so I guess that's kind of what I see happening. Probably for the next couple of weeks, people will be building onto the wait list. And then hopefully within a couple of weeks, we'll start bringing people from the wait list to actual onboarding. But we can't remove the wait list until we get the wait list down to 0. So the bigger the wait list gets, the longer the wait list will be out there as we're bringing people off of it. So if we take 100 people from the wait list and onboard them, and then you all put 100 new people on the wait list, we didn't go anywhere. We stayed flat. And so we've got to be ready to work through that. And again, these are great problems to have. Too much growth is a wonderful thing. But we are, again, very focused on making sure you all have an amazing experience. You all can do your real estate business. You can sell homes. You can get your listing power tools, power packs, and that is what's most important to us.
That's right.
Real estate before growth. And that's a crazy thing to say because we are here to grow, but we've got to be real estate before growth. And this is our first evidence of that commitment to you all, that we're serious about that. I don't know any other brokerage that's ever gone into a waitlist pattern before. We did it because we are that committed to real estate first and making sure you have an amazing experience.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what that wait list looks like. If you go to your recruiting website, or if you even go to lpt.com/waitlist, you'll see on all of your recruiting websites, we've installed a link that says join my waitlist, or it's a waitlist up at the top right. When you click on that, it allows someone to enter their information in. And of course, it still comes to our auto recruit team or our recruit assist team. And, we will still have those conversations on your behalf just like before, but it gives them the opportunity to join that way. And then also, additionally, you'll see over the next couple of days a functionality enabled where different states will be selected. So right now, it just gives you a general waitlist form. And in the next couple of days, you'll see, as we talked about on the launch, the states that we'll be going into, you'll be able to select the drop down and then basically have your LOI for individual states.
There.
It's already there?
State
perfect.
Is live.
State's live.
Okay. Is making it happen.
All right, perfect. So do you want to talk real quick about the state expansion and those timelines?
So they're good for us to move to the stage.
Yeah.
So let's yeah.
All right. Okay. So All right, so give us 1 second. We're going to move over to the stage real quick, and that way we can kind of ask Robert some questions that we've received over the weekend, and a little bit of a nicer setting. We're literally standing off to the side while we were setting up for a different shoot. So give me just 2 seconds.
I got you. We tried to get too fancy this morning. We set up this beautiful Motivation Monday on the same stage that we did the launch broadcast from, and we are having some issues. So I'm just gonna come back over here and talk to you guys here. Yeah. So again, I just again I want to thank everybody who trusted us, who believed in us, who came on this journey with us. A lot of exciting things happening. We talked about the additional states. We're going to use the wait list for those states as well. And so what will happen is Florida obviously will come off the wait list first. We will pull from the Florida wait list first. And then as these other state licenses get processed, remember the list we gave you guys is where we're going. All those state licenses have been applied for. A few of them are approved, a few are not. I'd say we're probably realistically 90 days away from onboarding anybody in any of those states. We'll give you more communication as we know what they are. But the wait list is a great opportunity for people to express interest, go ahead and name you as their sponsor, get in line, get in that queue to join for all of those other states. And they can actually join the wait list in states we haven't even announced yet. Those will be much further along before we would release them, but the functionality is there. So at this point, you can start having agents enter your downline, quote unquote, in any state on that waiting list. And so we think this is a really cool way to help drive the growth and give you those opportunities to start having those conversations and getting them on the wait list. And then when we're ready to actually serve up brokerage operations, the licenses are in place, everything's ready to go, we'll start with that wait list. And so, we may come out of the ground in a new state with 500 agents the first week, because if there's that many people on the wait list, we're going to be ready to go. And so to me, that's a really elegant way to drive our state expansion is using this wait list. So that was one cool byproduct of the meteoric growth we experienced on launch day, is it forced us to rethink how we move forward. Having a waiting list was never part of any plans, never something we even considered, but it actually ends up being a really nice solution to help us, control the growth, focus on our agents, and now control the way we move into these new states. So that's how that's going to work. I know a lot of questions around home value. We're going to start beta testing home value pretty quickly. Some of you will start seeing TV commercials for home value in your markets as early as September. From building past brands, I can tell you it's probably a 6 to 12 month burn before we really start to get, a lot of leads. We have to build the brand. People have to get familiar with the brand. We have to burn the jingle into their brain. So while you will start to see those commercials, there are no immediate results. And, we know that. I know that from building my brands across the state and all the money I've spent on TV and radio. So as you start to see that, get excited, but also be patient, because it does take time for the brand to marinate, drive consumer connection. And this is why so many people quit TV and radio. It doesn't work. Well, no, it doesn't work at month 1. It doesn't work at month 2. It really starts to work around month 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that's where we as the brokerage are taking that financial risk, and putting out that money to build the brand so that we can, drive the leads to you all, our agents. So that's really exciting. It's going to position us in a whole new way. A lot of you have heard me, say this. We are not the 2.0 version of any other brokerage. We're not just here to copycat somebody else. We took amazing parts of all these different models and brought them together. The best of the 100% world, the best of the split with cap and rev share world. Now bringing the best of lead generation. And there's a few more things we're going to disrupt as we continue to grow.
When he walks away.
So all that together. Are we good over there?
Yeah.
All right, sweet. I'm going to go to the stage.
Perfect.
How to do this?
Yeah, we're good. All right, guys. We're switched over. Okay, now we're all set up.
Boom.
Hang on. How did you
Are we good?
hang on?
We actually good? Good.
We actually are okay. Took us a little while to get here, but we're good. Okay, so I know you were kind of explaining about the home value and kind of the methodology that was happening there. Several months before that really kind of starts to take hold. And so I heard you, kind of explaining, hey, this is, takes a little while for that brand to resonate with the consumers before it really starts to trickle in. And so will people start to see that on TV commercials? Like when what's the timelines for
Yeah,
that?
so we're gonna have a couple of beta test markets. Some of that has to do with TV inventory costs, radio inventory costs. We are in a political year right now, which has a huge impact on TV pricing. There's some interesting rules around. So basically, whatever price a TV station will sell us a commercial for, they have to match that rate for politicians. It's called the lowest, the LUR, lowest rate something, But so we deal with this because they usually give us great deals because we've spent so much money with them, and we call it a favored nation status with these TV stations. But during political windows, they can't do that because whatever rock bottom price they give me, they have to also give the politicians.
Gotcha.
And they want to make a lot of money on the politicians. So advertising's tougher in political years, especially highly contested political years. So the TV stations are expecting this to be a tough one. And so some markets have less pressure than others. So we're looking at that right now. But the goal is to actually start running commercials in some markets as early as September. And I'm actually going to break off some of my spend that we already have booked in as a part of my annuals for the other companies to start getting it out there. But, like long term, building this brand on TV is going to give us such a unique value proposition as we grow. Knowing that we have these exclusive high quality listing leads and buyer leads. And again, from experience, I know how dramatically different a TV and radio lead is versus a digital lead. The quality is so much higher. The conversion rates are so much higher. And I'm very excited about being in a position where we can arm our agents with these leads. And it's again, we're going to change the game again. We're going to have, the best comp plans for our agents to run their business and generate their own leads using amazing technology like Chime and listing power tools. But then also this way for agents to tap a national brand that they own, that we own together as LPT Realty, an agent owned national marketing brand that's never been done before. And really being able to feed these amazing high quality leads back in. And that is going to be a big part of our path to being number one in market share, is being able to drive these leads in a way that no one has ever successfully done. A lot of people have talked about it. A lot of people have said they're going to build these portals short of Zillow, which is obviously not agent owned, and Truly and some of these other, no one from the brokerage side has ever successfully done this. And we are going to do it here at LPT Realty.
It feels so good, man, because for so long we've kind of teased the fact that we were going to be doing something differently. Obviously, we've known that this has been something we've really been working for years. It's been so difficult to not, let the cat out of the bag. So it feels great to be able to talking about this publicly. But speaking about the numbers, so last month, just, within our short period of time, we were ranked number 19 in the MLS. So, people are doing a lot of deals with the tools that we're already providing. And with adding this additional, aspect to it, I believe that we will quickly become the number one, brokerage in the MLS for listings and both by volume. What are your predictions there?
Yeah, so he's talking about Stellar MLS, which is one of the biggest in the country. It spans from Tampa to Orlando, which is obviously where we started. We were number 19 by units last month. When I looked, you looked month to date, we're number 9. It's actually a little weird because we're actually number 8 because the number 1 is all the non-member brokerages. It's the out of state, out of area. So while we show up as number 9, we're really the 8th largest brokerage because the number 1 slot is a catch-all for all the brokerages that are not members of that MLS. So yeah, now we're up to number 9. That's going to continue to grow. We will be number 1 here, I would say, within less than 12 months in Stellar, which is that Tampa to Orlando. And if we can do it here, we can do it anywhere.
Yeah,
and that's really what it's about, because the tools we've built, the amazing agents we're attracting, the culture we have, the real estate first mentality, the business model, all of that is built to go everywhere in the country. And so if we can build to be the number 1 brokerage in Stellar MLS in 18 months, then what can we go do in the rest of the country? Yeah. And I'm excited to prove that. And we are well on our way. And then again, layering in home value is another big part. And look, in home value, I envision a world where we own a lot of these brands. It's not just home value, because different brands will have different reactions in different places. Home value may do really well in Florida, but the home value bird may not work as well in Texas. So in Texas, maybe we use a different high profile domain like homeprices.com or homealerts.com, realvalues.com.
All which are domain names.
Yeah, we have millions of dollars worth of domain names and brands sitting around to be deployed in this manner. We started building all this 5-6 years ago at Listing Power Tools. It's interesting. 5 years ago today is the day I was on stage with A-Rod at Florida Association of Realtors. That showed up in my Facebook memories today. So this has been a long time coming. We've accumulated a lot of really high profile, amazing brands, a lot of really high profile, amazing domain names, and all of those will be put to use to help drive high quality leads into our LPT Realty agents.
Awesome. Okay. So I want to talk real quickly about market update. I know you have a kind of a macro view of that. obviously very connected to, the fluctuations of the interest rates. I know that you've been looking at the timing. I'm sorry, the amount of listings on the market. Where are you kind of seeing, I guess, third and fourth quarter of this year?
Yeah, it's interesting. We are definitely seeing, we're seeing a shift. Again, the sky is not falling. This is not the end of the world. Really, it's just a return to more of a normal market. We had this couple year period driven by the pandemic where, and really we've talked a lot about this internally. What we did is we pulled a lot of volume forward. And so, if you look at existing home sales and, let's say a number, like whatever, let's say a normal year is maybe 5.8 million, something like that. And so what I've noticed in my other businesses, because I'm a data junkie, when you have these boom years, it's not so much that you've created new demand; it's you've pulled demand forward from the future. And so we'll draw back to mortgage real quick and talk about refis. When rates drop dramatically, anyone who was going to refi in the next 2 or 3 years goes ahead and does it right now because rates are so low. And so all that volume gets pulled into that period of time. Well, then when you get into those windows of time that you took the volume from, there's not as many people because you sucked all that volume forward. And so I think about existing home sales in the same way. All the people who maybe were going to move to Florida in 2023, 2024, 2025, they did it in 21 and 22. A lot of them did it because all of a sudden their job would let them go remote because of the pandemic. Mm-hmm. Interest rates were at such a low, the ability to lock in a 30-year rate that low. So what you saw is people changed their plans and they accelerated their timelines. And so a lot of the people who should have been our customers in 2023 and 2024 and 2025, they bought in 2021 and 2020 and early 2022. And now that you would have burnout. Like even if rates had stayed low forever, there's a period where you hit burnout because you can only do that for so long, because there's only so many people that can move and make these changes. But then on the flip side, then when those economic factors start to change, and now some companies are making people go back into the office. So now they're having to quit their job if they moved out of state and find a new job, or interest rates now being very unattractive from being very attractive. And I know historically they're still low, but compared to where we were for the last 2 years, they look very high, unfortunately. And so a lot of people who were shopping and looking online and running mortgage calculators and saying, well, at 2.5, 2.75, I can afford this much house. It's a much different number, today with rates in the low fives. It was a worse number a month ago when rates were in the low sixes. But remember, we pulled a lot of those people forward. So now as we get into those years, a lot of the people who should have been our customers in 2023, 2024, they already bought. Mm-hmm. And so that is going to naturally create a different environment as you continue to go forward. Florida will do better than a lot of the rest of the country. We continue to be an attractive place to move, but it's just, it's an economic certainty that at some point, as you pull all that demand forward, you are stealing from those future periods and you will feel it.
Gotcha. So what do you think then we should be concentrating on for the next couple of months? Like, I get it. We had people who accelerated their plans to say, hey, I'm going to take advantage of this environment right now. I know that equity is going to continue to rise, interest rate, so people are here now. But now that things are turning, returning back to normal, what would you say that we should be putting our efforts into in terms of like, how do we stabilize our business? I know obviously mortgage is a completely cyclical business. So where would we be putting our efforts to kind of stay whole?
Yeah, I think really at the end of the day, our agents are going to find the ways to succeed. And what you see is at the macro level, large brokerages will have trouble, because, if you're number one in market share or number two in market share and the market shrinks, it's really hard to make that up. Mm-hmm. An individual agent can usually make up those drops by just putting in a little more effort, getting a little smarter with their efforts, a little more purposeful with their time, using better tools. And so that's really what this brokerage was about. If you would have landed 8 out of 10 listing presentations without listing power tools, now do you get 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10? Or maybe it was 6 out of 10 and now it's 8 out of 10. Having those tools, having the additional leads we're going to ultimately generate through home value, having access to an amazing CRM like Chime, having more money to invest back in your own business for pay-per-click or local community events or things because we have a lower cap as a brokerage. These are all the ways that an individual agent can make up the difference, because really, no matter what's happening out there at the macro level in your business, your ability to go out there and connect and communicate with your sphere, with people in the neighborhoods, with people in your communities. Remember, this is what the big disruptors can't ever do. And this is why I am so confident in our model, and why we are so I'm so invested in helping real estate agents grow their individual business. This is the exact time of economic environment where the big disruptors start to crack. The idea that you're going to come in and buy the homes and turn it into a home superstore and all this stuff, like right. This is the type of market when those models crack. And what will not crack and what will survive anything, I believe, is that local boots on the ground in the community, sphere of influence, advertising locally, getting out there, being seen, being present, microcosm that an individual real estate agent can control and can dominate with hard work and the right tools. And so we were built for this, and our tools are built for this. And a lot of companies say, all right, their business model was built for that. Fine. A business model being able to survive an economic downturn is different than literally saying we built tools so that our agents could be most successful in this type of environment. We're the only brokerage you're going to hear saying that. We built listing power tools. We built homevalue.com. We built all of these technologies. We built a lower cap model. All of these things were built so that you could be more successful in this market, not just that we as an entity could survive this market. Right. And again, that's just a different way that we're going to talk about things than other brokerages out there. We're not worried about our survival. We're here to grow. We're here to break records. Right. We want you to be more successful in this type of downturn, because this is when you can take market share. This is when things will get shifted, things will get turned around, and we as LPT Realty, we will win at the expense of the other agents that we are competing against.
That's right. Okay, so one kind of final question I wanted to talk to you. I know we were talking about the type of agents that we were attracting and the where we want to place our incentives, and you were mentioning that the type of agents that we want are not necessarily agents who are just going out there for the sole purpose of recruiting. We want people focused on kind of real estate. So talk to me about kind of, your vision on, why does the recruiter come here and maybe have a harder time versus someone here who's focused on real estate?
Yes, there's a couple different sides to this coin. And look, we have an amazing recruiting model. We have an amazing rev share plan. We have amazing stock grants pre-IPO. We have all the things that make it to where you can be very successful coming here to recruit. But we also want to be the best place to come and sell real estate. And remember, we want to be that first. Right. And you'll hear me say this a lot. If we're the best at real estate, the rest of it just works. If we're the best at real estate, agent attraction becomes so much easier. And I think where that really shows the most, and I've had a lot of conversations with agents who have come to LPT and they've been at other recruiting model brokerages in the past and they did not have success. But here now they're having a lot of success. And I think the biggest difference is, in most of the quote unquote recruiting brokerage models, you really have to go out and focus on recruiting other recruiters, right? Those models are not attractive. If you take recruiting completely out of the equation, a lot of those models are not very attractive. They were built for the recruiter. Well, now as a recruiter, you have to go out and find other agents who also want to be recruiters. And so you find yourself recruiting recruiters. Where here at LPT Realty, you can recruit real estate agents, because we do have the best comp plan for someone who just wants to sell real estate. We do have the best tools for someone who just wants to sell real estate. And so because here at LPT Realty, you can go recruit real estate agents who don't want to be recruiters, that's why I think folks are having and seeing so much success. It's a much larger pool of people to build from. In the other models, when you go to recruit recruiters, you're either trying to convince someone they can be a recruiter, and then if they're not, they end up leaving, or you're having to go out and everyone's fighting over the other agents who do want to be recruiters, where we've built a model where if you want to be a recruiter, that's great. That's welcome here. But if you also just want to come here and sell real estate, we are going to be, and we are the best brokerage anywhere to just sell real estate. Best tools, best comp plan, best support, best culture for selling real estate. And we're just getting started. Yeah. But that's the big differentiator. At other models, you really have to go out and recruit other recruiters. Where here, you can literally just go out and recruit real estate agents. And if you stumble upon another recruiter, great. Then your efforts will be duplicated, and then they'll help recruit other real estate agents as well. But the ability to recruit real estate agents is our biggest differentiator from the other models. And none of them are going to admit that. They're all going to say, oh, you can recruit real estate agents here too, whatever. But if you really do a deep dive into the other models, they are built to where you can only have success recruiting other recruiters, where here it is very clear that you can recruit real estate agents who just want to sell real estate.
Awesome. Well, we're definitely looking forward to that and all the tools that we're going to continue to talk about. I know there's still additional ones that we're going to roll out.
We're going to keep changing
rolling.
the game.
Right.
And look, and we're really, I really want to telegraph to our agents where we're going. It's important to me they know. Like, while we have to keep some of this a secret, we definitely want to let you know well in advance. Hey, we announced the states, so you know where we are going. That's not where we are today. We didn't wait to say, hey, we're in these states today. We're telling you, hey, these are the states we've applied for licenses in. This is where we're going. Hey, homevalue.com. This is something we're launching. This is somewhere we're going. It's really important to me that as much advance notice we can give our agents, who are our shareholders, our owners, our partners, to understand where we're going. But there are a few things we have to keep under wraps.
Right.
And I can't wait to get them all out. But I would say we probably have at least 2 more really revolutionary things that are going to help put our agents even further up the food chain and further up to compete and beat others and have a different level of success. And I'm excited to announce them as we. The time's got to be right, but we will always let you know well in advance of something massive happening, because we want you to be able to adjust your business accordingly. So
awesome. Okay, great. Well, all right, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. I want to just do some quick housekeeping notes. You'll be able to find a frequently asked questions around the launch and the things that we talked about uploaded and connect later on today. So please make sure that you check that out. If you are if you want to know what the waitlist looks like, please go ahead and take a look at your recruiting website, or you can go to lpt.com. You'll see the waitlist up at the top right, and so you can point people in that direction. Again, as we work through the wait list, we will go ahead and start to resume I guess what would you call that? I guess normal operations.
Yeah. So I think what's going to happen is the people who are on the wait list will get onboarded first,
right?
And then once we clear the wait list, then I guess we can let people go straight back to being onboarded directly.
Right.
But for a while, there's going to be some period of time when agents are going to have to sit on the wait list, because again, we thought 250 to 300 new people a month joining us was kind of the upper bound of, even like, for someone at our size to achieve that is unheard of. That's what the big guys were doing. People with hundreds of market centers across the state at their peak were only recruiting 250, 300 agents. Other models with 10,000 recruiters trying to build their downline were only bringing on 250 to 300 agents. We blew through all that. And so again, it was just so unexpected.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to start bringing people off of the wait list to be onboarded in the next couple of weeks. And then when we actually get rid of the wait list will depend on how many people are on the wait list. If 2,000 people join the wait list in the next 4 weeks, it's going to take us a lot longer.
It's going to take us a lot of work
through all that, right. So that's Absolutely. Really the interesting problem we have. But I think this is a great solution. It lets our agents continue to go out and have conversations, go ahead and have agents name them as their sponsor when they join the wait list. We want to go ahead and lock down that relationship, and then we'll being able to onboard, which, like, at the end of the day too, a lot of agents need time to transition. They need time to close deals with their old brokers. They need time to transition. So I think this actually can be a really positive thing. And we just are going to do our best here to make sure we continue to support our agents with their goals in both real estate and growth.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely a positive thing. The fact that we continue to, think about the experience of the agents who are currently with us, and know that we want to deliver a specific type of experience and a consistent one, and that necessarily can't happen when you're doubling overnight every single so I love the idea there. I know no one wants to temper growth to a degree, but I think it really shows your commitment to delivering what we said we were going to do. So thank you so much.
Remember too, other brokerages took 7 years, 9 years, 10 years to get where we just did in 6 months. It is an amazing accomplishment. When
the more
really
I think about that, it's just nuts.
Where we are. And again, think about all the time that gives someone to build infrastructure and processes. 7 years to get to 1,000 agents, 8 years, 9 years to get to 2,000 agents. That's a lot of time to perfect processes. Mm-hmm. We had to figure it out in 6 months, and we did it, and we did a great job with it. And now we really have to make sure that we grow at the right pace to achieve all of our goals, which is growth, real estate first, and then obviously taking this company public at the right time, so that stock can be publicly traded. And all of this is what's driving our decisions to do this at the right pace and in the right way for our agents and our shareholders.
Well, the timing of this company was by no accident. It was very strategic. It's I think your plan is working. So excited to see your roadmap. I know that's also very strategic in certain times of the year when you're going to be releasing specific type of tools. So looking forward to that future. Okay, so again, make sure you check out help.lptrealty.com to go to connect, and that will have some frequently asked questions for you regarding the launch. Of course, we're also available throughout the week to answer any additional questions that you have. The wait list is going to be posted. It's already on your recruiting sites, but the frequently asked questions for that will also be posted in Connect. So unless there's anything else you want to say, we can go ahead and cut it here.
Now we're good. I always love joining you guys on Motivational Monday. Big thanks to all of our agents. Shout out to our agents.